Hi guys, welcome back to the Hugh Jeffreys video, and in this video I'm going to be restoring and customizing this Slate iPhone 5. I purchased this iPhone from eBay for a total cost of $55 and it is still running iOS 6. However, the housing and screen have both seen better days. You can see the front screen is cracked and doesn't respond well to touch, so we're going to be transforming this iPhone 5 into a custom blue and black phone. To do this, we're going to need a replacement housing. I managed to source this one straight out of China, and awesomely enough, I managed to get one that had the custom IMEI printed on the back, so it actually matches the iPhone's IMEI number itself, which is pretty neat. The first thing I'll need to do is power down the iPhone and take out the two bottom pentalobe screws before I can apply a suction cup to the display to hopefully lift it out of place. You can see that it's sort of separated between the glass and the plastic frame instead of taking up the whole display, so I had to get in with some plastic pry tools and pry it up that way. However, once we're inside the phone, we can remove the 3 screws holding in the battery connector plate, and you can see one of the standoff screws actually came up with it. That doesn't really matter, it just makes one less job for me. I can disconnect the battery and move up to the top of the phone where I can unscrew and remove the LCD bracket, and taking the LCD display off of the iPhone. Now that we're inside the phone, we can take a look and see that this phone looks quite clean on the inside. However, I have noticed a little bit of green corrosion up near the camera there. However, the phone shows no other signs of water damage. You can see here on the volume flex cable, there's this yellow dot, which indicates to me it's been replaced at some point. This could have been part of the Apple replacement program or an aftermarket repair shop. Now that we've got all that out of the way, it's time to remove the logic board of the phone so we can transfer it into the new housing. The new housing itself I sourced out of China and had it custom made with the correct IMEI number for the phone. So with that, I also got it with all of the internal parts. However, after ordering a whole heap of these housings from the same company, I noticed that their installation of these parts weren't so good, so that's why I'm going to be taking off of this little piece right here up near the power button, which is one of 3 microphones in the iPhone 5. And I can go ahead and transfer the little grill into the new housing, as well as that bracket, which was also missing. So if you opt for a housing with parts, just know that they probably won't install all of the parts, and little things will be missed, like this little metal retaining bracket, which I'll also need to remove off of the old housing and put onto the new one. The dock connector itself was also missing a little wire that actually connects between the 2 screws on the headphone jack. Now, to transfer that, I would have to remove the dock connector from the old housing, take the little wire off, put it on the new dock connector, and then reinstall it back into the new housing. Instead, I just opted to swap the entire dock connector across because it was just easy to do it that way, and it also meant that I was getting the original genuine Apple dock. So I opted for that way and just screwed it back down into the housing, and we're pretty much good to go there. I can remove the SIM tray and stick down the volume flex cable, as the adhesive actually wasn't removed, so that was ready to be adhered to the housing. With that ready to go, I can install the logic board into the new housing, and you can see things are now starting to take shape. I always like to put the SIM tray in. That really just keeps the logic board attached in the right spot, so it makes it a little bit easier to install the screws as it's not moving around. Now, I also opted for a donor phone for this, as it had an original Apple display on it. The phone itself is iCloud locked and can't be set up, so I might as well use the parts off of it, so I'm going to be swapping the whole display assembly from this locked phone onto my custom blue iPhone 5. I also had to install a new battery adhesive. Please excuse the horrid condition of this one. It came with the housing itself and was pretty low quality. I will swap that out later on off camera when I order in a new one. But you can see here the difference between the old and the new display. You can see it has absolutely no fingerprints and looks quite nice. So this locked phone was an excellent way of getting a genuine screen. With the screen attached, I can install the bracket up the top, screwing in its appropriate screws and just making sure to remove my fingerprints with a microfiber cloth. Any fingerprints from the previous repair job on this phone as well. I can reinstall the screws for the dock and battery, and pressing down the display, I can reinstall the 2 pentalobe screws, into the bottom of the iPhone 5, and that completes the rebuild and restoration of this custom iPhone 5. The last thing I need to do is test out that it actually still works, and pressing and holding the power button, you can see that glorious iOS 6 Apple logo. So this is it, my dark blue custom iPhone 5 that I rebuilt and customized using a old broken iPhone 5 still running iOS 6. The phone had various scratches and a cracked screen with dodgy touch, so I took it and made it into something beautiful here with this custom iPhone 5. This is one of many custom iPhones I've made in the past, including 3 custom iPhone 5s in red, purple, and now dark blue. If you want to check out any of those videos, I'll leave the playlist linked below so you can go and check those out in the custom and modded tech playlist. You can see here the phone is now fully functioning here on iOS 6.1.4. It is a 16 gig iPhone 5, and like I said, I picked this up for $55 off of eBay. I paid about $25 for the housing, and altogether that completed the device itself. You can see this looks quite nice. I'm really digging that blue color. And if you want to see a newer phone in dark blue, well, I have an iPhone 7 Plus housing, which I'm hoping to build very, very soon. So make sure you subscribe and stick around for that video. And on that note, this has been a Hugh Jeffreys video. If you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button and consider checking out the modded and custom tech playlist for more videos just like this one. Also, make sure to follow me on my social media for behind the scenes and photos of devices just like these, links for which are down in the description. That's all for this video, and I'll catch you guys next time.